To create a new document in Illustrator, you have a few options. More recent versions of Illustrator have a New button on the left-hand side, but it is always safe to go to File, New, and it will pop up your New Document dialog box. First, you need to give your document a name. And then you have some choices for profiles. Right now it's set on Custom, but you can choose some presets like Print, Web, Mobile, Video and Film, or Art and Illustration. When you become more advanced, you can also browse for custom profiles that you've pulled off of the internet. For my document, I want 2 artboards. So if you're not familiar with artboards, we'll talk about that in the next section. But basically, it's just the sections of your document that you can export as separate files. I want 20 pixels between my 2 artboards, and I'm okay with those being in 2 columns. So that means that those are going to appear right next to each other, but if I had 4, I would have 2 on the top row and 2 on the next row. Depending on what profile you've set, so I've got a custom profile right now, it will pull up different options for size. So for example, if I change this profile to web, it would pull up different web profile options that I could choose from. So I'm going to change this back to print and reset my artboards. It'll pull up my previous settings, and I'm okay with letter. Right now it has my artboard set in points. I usually like to work in pixels, so I'll change this from points to pixels down here. I'm happy with this orientation. You can choose portrait or landscape right here. You can also change that later once you've entered your document and started working on it. I don't want to bleed on my document, which a bleed is the amount of space that's left between the border and where the image starts, so it can keep the edges safe if you're printing something out and you have a printer that usually crops off some of your image. I have these advanced settings, which sometimes are toggled closed like this. I'm okay with CMYK because that is for web documents. RGB is for print documents. And I'm going to leave the raster effects and the preview mode how they are. So when I press OK, I get a document that has 2 artboards, 20 pixels apart from each other. And so like I was saying about the columns and rows, if I have 2, they're like this, and since I said that I want them in 2 columns, if I had 4, the next 2 would appear under this.